Hello, I'm Langston and I'm back on my channel, Gymlandia. Today I'm going to be talking about colorism in gymnastics and, how we kind of see that impact. So anyway, I'm back and, we're just going to be diving into it, straight away. So it's something I've kind of noticed and, I've had a lot of people bring it up, but, oftentimes gymnastics, you do see lighter skin, oftentimes biracial or mixed women get advantages over their darker skinned black female counterparts. And I do want to say that light skinned women definitely experience racism as well. Like no one's saying that, mixed women don't experience racism. Like I've definitely came on here and defended that because Connor McClain, Becky Downey, as well as Melanie Jason Dos Santos definitely experienced racism. I remember, you know, people have really been coming after Melanie and Rebecca for getting overscored at these cups and etc. But you say anything about Flavia being overscored, you get attacked by everyone, right? Like I remember when I said that Chu Chi Yuan was overscored, and even Zalia Kin to a lesser extent, Zalia Chin, and the ABBP came after me like everyone was, oh, you anti-Asian, you blah 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 blah. Like so, you say one thing about some them being overscored, it's a problem, right? But you're quick to criticize a black woman however you want, regardless of their color. Like, God forbid a black woman get 1/10 more than she was supposed to get. The gym's not gonna erupt, and it's very, very clear because you're not allowed to say that about anyone else. Because if you say that, oh, you're a hater, you're discriminating against them, you're on their ass. Like, no, bitch, they got fucking overscored. I agree that they got overscored as well. I'm not gonna ever sit up here and act like they didn't get overscored. Like, I would judge them and say they were overscored, but that energy is not applied, right? They're okay with non-black women getting gifts, but when black women receive something, it's a problem, right? And part has to do with the fact that they don't want black women in the sport anyway. If they didn't want to be able to control them, and with that, just throwing that out there. But even despite that discrimination that comes along with every black woman, in the world, there is still some preferential treatment that you do see these women get. Like for example, Becky Downey is someone who's been competing, for what pushing four quads, and has yet to win a medal like in Olympics. Has yet to really. She didn't win a world medal in 2019, but it took her a long time, right? But she's not given the grace that a lot of these white gymnasts who've been competing for just as long as her have been able to get, right? Like she's not given the same grace as them. We're talking about Marta Fihan Kolesa from Poland, as well as I want to say Vasiki Milasuki. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name right, from Greece. Hade Barbosa. I want to say Hade definitely was able to win a medal at her first World Championships. But still, I want to say that regardless, the treatment's not there for a lot of these other gymnasts, non-black gymnasts who's been around for just as long, fucking around for just as much time. So again, you can make the argument, oh, well, she definitely had more opportunities coming from Great Britain, but still, even still, the treatment towards her, like a lot more people encouraging her, a lot more people saying that she's robbed, from the team in GB. Where are these people coming to Gabby's defense, though? Who's talking about how Gabby treated in gymnastics? Like who's doing that to the same extent, right? As they were when Becky and Ellie were announced to the British team in 2021, for the Tokyo Olympics. Very similar thing for Connor McClain. Like, oftentimes, oh well, Connor McClain, she could have definitely done it, she could have achieved that, etc. Okay, but what about what Elizabeth Price could have achieved? Like, what about all of these other black women that could have achieved as well who are darker skinned? And that goes with Melanie Jason Dos Santos. And people oftentimes do give her more grace than they give other, gymnasts who have been fucking around their careers. But I do want to say that people definitely are on Melly like, oh, Melly, why have you not won a medal? Why have you not won a medal? What about Flavia? What about how long it took Flavia to win her first fucking medal? What about Ellie Black, right? So that energy is not applied to Melanie as well. But Melanie does get a lot more benefits compared to someone like Shiley's. And, you oftentimes hear people talk about how artistic Melanie as well as Connor McClain are. Why aren't wasn't why isn't Shiley's considered artistic? Why is Gabby not considered artistic despite hitting over splits, right? Despite big Shiley's being one of the only gymnasts can do a switch half correctly, you don't really realistically see as many people call them that. And you also see people always talking about how beautiful Melanie Jesus Dos Santos is, like how pretty she is, how perfect her eyes is, how beautiful her hair is. Same thing with Connor McClain, how cute she is. Why isn't Shiley's beautiful though? Like, I don't understand why Shiley's isn't beautiful. I don't understand why Gabby Douglas isn't beautiful. I don't understand why Simone Biles isn't beautiful, right? Like, I don't understand that. But people are so quick to talk about how beautiful Melanie Jesus Dos Santos is. And, I think that is definitely true. I would never sit up here and say Melanie Jesus is beautiful, but so are they. Like, how beautiful her hair is. What about Sky Blakely's hair? I think Sky Blakely's hair is beautiful. I think Sky Blakely has the best hairstyle of all the gymnasts. I said what I said. I think that she does a really good job of styling her natural hair, but that's not complimented the same way that, their hair is. Why is that? It's so many different things that I see where a lot of y'all are so quick to jump to defend Connor McClain as well as, Melody J. Santos as well as, just lighter skin or mixed women in general, but you don't give darker skin black women that same grace. And when you go into their comments, people keep talking about how beautiful and how they should be a model. And it's like, why shouldn't Shiley's be a model? What's different about them? Right? Why do y'all feel the need to do that? And you continue to push forward that effort. That's something else I want to bring up where why do people feel so comfortable calling black women ugly? I've people are so quick to call Simone Biles ugly. They're so quick to call Gabby Douglas ugly. People are always talking about what they look like. Oh, they're ugly, which isn't even true. I think Simone Biles and Gabby Douglas are beautiful. But why do y'all feel so comfortable calling them ugly? I never see people calling Victoria Komova ugly or talking about how Lariska Daki's ugly, right? Or Maggie Nichols or even Michaela Skinner. A lot of people talk shit about Michaela Skinner. I never seen someone call her ugly, right? Like I've never seen someone call Nastia or Sean Johnson ugly. Like I've never seen someone call Suni Lee or Morgan Hurd ugly or Leanne Wong or Lori Hernandez or Madison Koshin. Like you don't see people feel the need to call Asian women ugly or Latina women ugly, but people feel so comfortable calling black women ugly. Like on social media, doesn't matter what sport, Angel Reese in basketball, right? Like Serena Williams, Michelle Obama, right? Like people just feel so comfortable telling black women that they're ugly. And it doesn't make like, why is that? Like, even if they are ugly, what does it have to do with them being a gymnast? What are you judged by what you look like when you compete a bouncing routine? Like, does it matter how beautiful you are when you flip off the uneven bars? Like, does that affect your execution on your tumbling and your vault form? But why do you feel the need to do that? It's one thing to call someone's gymnastics ugly, but why do you feel the need to call them ugly? Why do some people feel so comfortable calling Gabby Douglas and Simone Biles ugly? I will talk all the shit in the world about Michaela Skinner, about Flavia, about all these bitches who's fucking around, but I will never sit up here and call someone ugly because it don't matter what Flavia Sareva look like, what Michaela Skinner like. They don't got shit to do with why I'm coming for Flavia Sareva because bitch, you don't been competing for a decade and just won your first fucking medal. You've been fucking around for years, but people act like you all this in a bag of chips when that's not the case. Because if you were all that in a bag of chips, you would have got your medal 3 presidents ago, right? Same thing for Michaela Skinner. If you were all that, you would have been an alternate. You would have been on the main team in Tokyo, but you weren't, right? Like, so I'm going to come for your career. I'm going to come for how you perform as a gymnast. I'm not going to come for what you look like because what you look like is insignificant to your accomplishments as a gymnast, right? But people feel so comfortable telling black women that they're ugly, taking away their feminine attributes. And people don't do that to non-black women. They don't ever do that. And, it's just so clear. And it pisses me off when people sit up here and talk about women of color. Because a lot of y'all, oh, Jim Laney, he's such a big advocate for women. No, the fuck I'm not. I am not no advocate for women of color. I'm an advocate for black women and black women alone. Not even for black people, black women in particular. So again, stop fucking around creating these fake ass narratives. Because no one's out here doing that to Asian women and Latina women and Arabic women and all these other non-black group of women. Like, no one is bullying Asian women for their hair. Like, when have you ever seen someone bully Suni Salif for her hair and Morgan Hurd for her hair or Leanne Wong or Mai Murakami? Like, when have you ever seen someone do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's out here doing that to them, right? Like, it's not the same. And, when people try to group black women's struggles in with everyone, it's really disrespectful. It's really gaslighting because no one does that to them. Like, when people talk about other groups of women discrimination, no one talks about black women. They don't throw black women in there, right? But people always sort of feel the need to make black women's issues about everyone else. You know what I'm saying? It's so fucking frustrating, and it's consistent, whether it's Palestinians, whether it's Hispanics, whether it's Asian people, whether it's black men, whether it's LGBT people. Everyone feels a need to make black women's issues, black women's spaces about someone else, whether to who the fuck it's supposed to be about in the first place. And then y'all gaslight black women, right? Y'all want to sit up here and call Simone Biles ugly, but you get mad when Simone Biles internalizes that, right? You know, Simone Biles thinks she's not all that. That's why she's with who she's with. You told Simone Biles that she wasn't all that. You told her that she's not beautiful, but you're mad at her when she thinks she's not beautiful, right? You're mad at her when she thinks that, oh, if I get with someone light skinned, if I chase after some great value ass Corbin Blue, that's I'm bettering myself, right? What about his eyes? Y'all, this is what y'all do though. Y'all put her in that predicament, but you have the audacity to be upset when she internalizes it. You see the fuckery? And so black women can't win. Because when Simone Biles man ends up fucking around on her, y'all gonna say she should have chose better. Y'all gonna say she should have saw the red flags. But the same ones, when we're calling out those red flags, you're telling us those aren't red flags, right? Like, you want us to not acknowledge the red flags, say those are green flags, but then you're gonna turn them to red when shit flies south. Oh, she should have saw the red flags, but I thought they were green. I thought his behavior was okay, but now all of a sudden it's a problem. That's what they did to Kiki Palmer. That's what they did to all these other black women when their relationships fall the fuck through. They playing black women's face. Y'all want to bully Gabby Douglas for her wigs, but you bullied her for her natural hair. So which one is it? She's a nappy headed ass hoe, right? Black women are nappy headed hoes, but you have a problem with black women who wear wigs to cover it, right? Which one is it? Do you want black women to hate their natural hair? You want them to wear other women's hair, or you want them to, oh, now they want to be a white woman, now they want to be something else, right? So it's a lose-lose situation for black women. Y'all want to sit up here and call black women ghetto and ratchet. You have a problem with Suki Hana and Sexy Red and all these ratchet ass black women, but you have a problem with Michelle Obama. Like, you have a problem with Ketanji Brown Jackson. You have smoke for Kamala Harris, right? So it's like, which one is it? Do you want black women to be educated? Because when they focus on their education, oh, now they want to be masculine. Now that's why now that's why they're gonna die alone. Now that's why they're single. Now that's why no man wants them, because they're too focused on their education instead of the correct things. So which one is it? Right? Like, when black women want better for themselves, they're gold diggers. But when they don't, when they lower their standards, oh, now that's why you chose a bum ass man. You should have chose a good black man. You should have chose that. But what happens when the good black men defend the bad ones? What happens when the good black men defend the Jonathan Owens, defend the Diddy's, defend the Bill Cosby's, right? Defend the R. Kelly's? What about that? You hear people use white supremacy as an excuse to justify black men's actions, but why does anyone use white supremacy to justify black women's negative actions? Weren't black women enslaved too? Didn't black women deal with sexual abuse from white men for centuries? Didn't black women have to survive the Jim Crow era? Didn't Rosa have to get beat when she sat on the bus? Didn't black women have to go through that as well? But people don't use excuses to justify why Suki Hana is how she is. People don't use that as an excuse to justify why black women have their flaws, but they want to sit up here and create any excuse in the rule book to justify black men's actions. Y'all need to sit up here and watch the game some of these niggas play on us. They play in our fucking faces like we stupid, and it look and think we just supposed to sit up here and let the Super Bowl, sit up here and let the motherfucking Olympic Games play in our fucking faces. We know the game that you playing on us. We ain't fucking stupid. We might be young, but we ain't stupid. Like, we not falling for this shit anymore. And the truth is that they just want a disdain, a reason to justify their disdain for black women. Like, they just want a reason to justify their hatred for them. And they're gonna look for that, whether they're ratchet, whether they're educated, whether they wear their natural hair, whether they don't. Like, they're gonna look for a reason to justify why they have the right to talk shit about black women, why they have the right to degrade black women, because they don't respect them anyway. I don't ever want you to fall for that Kevin Samuels ass bullshit, who I saw Jonathan Owens, repost years back. And that's when I knew that nigga was standing on nothing but fucking audacity. But they just want a reason to justify their hatred for you. And you can't ever fit into a box, because when you do, they're going to justify their reason as to why they don't want you, why you're not good enough. That's all it is. And you just have to be wary, right? And, I really feel for Simone Biles. And, I think this is very unfortunate situation she's in, as well as, just Black women in gymnastics in general. But I just wanted to kind of elaborate the differences. This is something that's purely within our community as Black people, right? This is a video just for talking about Black people and Black nigga issues. To elaborate, to show you the kind of, place that society puts Black women in, right? And expects them to come out and advocate for all these other groups of people who'd rather spit in their face. And, oftentimes makes us feel like we're being admirable when we're doing it, but we're really ridiculous. But that's all I have to say on my channel, Gymlandia. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe down below. Make sure to have a nice day, you guys. Goodbye.